Hi there. So I've been challenged by my best friend from public school. We're little lads. He's challenged me to do 25 for 25. That's 25 push-ups for 25 days to bring awareness for PTSD, anxiety, depression, leading to suicide. And Matthew Senf. Do you think I was going to take you up on it? Because I will. I'm going to do it a little different. I'm not going to nominate anybody. I'm going to have volunteers step up. So if you're interested, just leave your name down below and we'll recruit you. This one, normally I wouldn't do this kind of thing, but we've lost a lot of guys in North Bay in the last couple of years. So I think it's worthwhile. The earliest of them was in the early 2000s, and coincidentally his name was Matt too. So Matt was one of our friends, good guy. So day one of the push-ups. Let's get going. Oh, and I almost forgot. I do have a little surprise for you guys. I almost forgot. Look where I am. Sheldon Campbell, Glenn Hansman, Matt Senf. That's for you guys. It's actually 45 because the camera fell the first time. Oh, and I almost forgot one more thing. I don't Facebook very often. I don't really like it. And in fact, I know that the platform itself leads to suicide and depression and anxiety and those kind of things. So it's not a mental health platform by nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload these videos about every 5 days, every once a week or something like that. Hey, what's going on, everybody? 10 days ago, my best friend from public school, Matthew Senf, nominated me to do 25 push-ups for 25 days to raise awareness for suicide resulting from anxiety, PTSD, depression, and alcohol abuse, drug abuse. Big shout out to my friend Dave, who really stepped up to the plate, sent me a video. You guys have to watch some of it, because watching an Englishman curse is absolutely hilarious.
There we go. Ooh. 25, you're kidding. 3, oh. 4. Oh, I'll have to do it like this. Sorry, man. 5, 6, 2, 21, 20, talking now, 28, 20, oh, 20, oh my god, fucking hell, gee whiz.
Today I'm in a hotel parking lot, but this parking lot used to be a playground of a place called O'Brien Street Public School. And that's where I met the guys who nominated me for this. Sheldon, Glenn, Matt, and a whole bunch of other guys who didn't nominate me. I'm not going to nominate you. I'm not going to name names. Al, Mark, Jim, John. What else am I forgetting? Here are the highlights. Here's how my week went. It's a little montage. Hope you enjoy it. Day 2. Being out of shape is hard. Doing push-ups in the rain is also hard. Choose your hard. Okay, we're at Cecil's, formerly known as Wilders. A lot of guys might know that. And this is day 3. And it can't rain all the time, despite what it looks like. Keep that in mind. Here we go.
broken glass.
Looks a little different inside now, doesn't it? Hey Matt, my dad still lives in the same house.
Hi there, Matthew. I'm still here, still cooking, still bugging people, still thinking about chemistry, doing lots of chemistry. Try YouTube for chemistry, man. They got some good stuff on there. Okay? Bye-bye. We'll see you sometime.
Since this whole COVID nonsense has started, suicide rates among people under the age of 25 have more than doubled in some cities. I'm down at the North Bay waterfront, and in 1989, a friend of mine named Jen took her own life down here. She was just a girl. I still have the crucifix you gave me. I wore it for 15 years to remember. And then I eventually took it off because it started falling apart. But you mattered. In 1991 I lived in Ottawa for a couple of years, and I auditioned for a punk band called STD. They were a hardcore band, so they played a little faster and louder than I would have liked. So I never ended up joining that band, but we stayed good friends. The guitarist, his name was Kerry. He had long hair and he always wore a ridiculous bullet belt. I learned that one night he took acid and jumped off a building and died. Anyway, here are my 25 from O'Brien. That ravine we used to get in trouble in. Remember, we'd walk from the school down there? And Joe, I forgot you, Joe. Joe Alone, if you're watching this, thinking about you. Hi there. 18 days ago, I was nominated to do 25 push-ups for 25 days in order to bring awareness to suicide related to PTSD, depression, anxiety, and alcohol drug abuse. After my last video, I was called out, and rightly so, for name dropping on the guys and none of the girls. So, Tracy Johnson, this is for you. Sindra, Trina, the two Karens, Deidre, Allison, Mimi, and I know I'm forgetting some others. Heather. I'm at the old Centennial School, and this is where our crew used to go for home ec, gym, woodshop, and music. Looks exactly the same. Apparently they don't teach any of those subjects here though anymore, and it's not called Centennial. And just a small note here, guys. The reception I've received from this has been really good, and thank you for your words of encouragement. I'm sometimes worried that I'm making a sadness documentary, and I don't really want it to come off that way. Or I don't want it to come off as melodramatic or over the top or weird. But I guess it's a serious topic, so it's gonna seem that way. But thank you for the responses, and here's how my week went. I got my hair cut. A few days after filming with him last week, my dad took a turn, and he's in the hospital behind me, getting emergency surgery on his gallbladder. They think it's his gallbladder. I'm not allowed to go in, because he's only allowed one visitor at a time. And my sister's the ones with, she's the one with the real medical brain. She knows how to talk to doctors, so. Yeah. anyone who's been through this sort of thing during this pandemic, my heart goes out to you. It really, really does. You know, I wish I could get in there. You know, I saw a headline on Global News the other day that said mental illness reaches epic proportions, catastrophic proportions, I think they called it. And it seems to me the same agencies that out of the other side of their mouth say the lockdowns aren't strict enough, and they tattletale on people. You know, they find gatherings and they report on it, and I don't know what they want from us. Anyway, this is for you, Dad. All you other people out there, just hang tough, right?
She's shivering, baby.
Day 11, Halloween. little update on my dad. He was diagnosed with C. difficile, which is as I understand it, a pretty serious infection in your guts. And so if you're the religious type, you know, say a prayer for our family. I haven't seen him yet. So tonight is the night of the big US election, and I know I have a certain percentage of friends on one side or the other who are going to fall into abject despair. And I'm telling you, don't let that happen to you. Don't let politics become your personality. And I know I have friends that are going to say, Ed, this is too important. We need to get angry. We need to overthrow. We need to get violent. We need to burn it down. And I'm saying, internalizing that bitterness is not good for you. You have more than that. You have more than that going for you. You have family. You have friends. Look around. There are people that love you. Just embrace that. In 1993, my band had a rival band called The Trip. They were a lot more talented than us, and sometimes the animosity between the two bands ran pretty high, but never with their lead singer, Kelly. Everybody liked Kelly. He always had a smirk on his face, like he knew the punchline to a joke, and that nobody else knew. And over the years, there was nothing I liked more than going into a bar and seeing an empty bar stool beside Kelly. And the last time I saw him was here at the Raven Republic. You know, we must have sat for at least 2 hours just chatting. In 2016, he sent me a message on my birthday. And I didn't reply to it because you know, we all get busy on our birthdays, and you get a lot of messages sometimes, and you know, if it's a work day, you have to go to work. He took his own life a few days later. Okay, Centennial Public School, let's get these push-ups over with. There's some portables now where we used to get our asses handed to us in gym class. Huh. Look at that. We never had a gazebo. 25 days ago, I was nominated by an old friend from public school, Matthew Sempf, to do 25 push-ups for 25 days in order to bring awareness to PTSD, anxiety, and depression, and drug and alcohol abuse leading to suicide. Most of you knew it was going up here at Chippewa Secondary School. So I mentioned some of the girls in the last video from our crew. I forgot to mention two of my favorites, Jennifer and Michelle. And I'd like to shout out to the rest of the guys I haven't mentioned yet. JP, Kev, and Brian, Satellite, two Andys, Jason, Aaron, Richard, I know you're watching, Richard. I can feel you smirking. And I'd like to acknowledge Scott, who's no longer with us. Anyway, I'd like to report quickly too that my dad is well. He's back at home as of 2 days ago. He's on the mend. Thank you for your thoughts and for your prayers, and for all the positive messages I've received. So here's how my week went. Please excuse the outfit. My siblings and I have been working all day trying to clean up my dad's house, because apparently C. difficile is a hell of a thing to clean. It's spores, and you got to get in every inch and nook and cranny of the house. So we've been scrubbing and sweeping and vacuuming and just polishing and doing everything we can. Yesterday, after filming my centennial video, I went to Cecil's, which was, I believe, the third place that I did push-ups for this, and I learned something that I didn't know. And the bartender that I knew from there, Dave, who had worked there for 30 years, I knew he passed away, but I wasn't aware it was from suicide, and I'm sorry to hear it. You know, he was a lanky guy, funny. Everybody liked that. Everybody liked Dave. You know, he used to give us a hard time when we were 20, but we were 20. We were jerks. You know, he probably was too. But over the years, it just seemed like a genuine, nice guy, and I'm very sorry to hear it. In 2015, a very good friend of mine introduced me to her good friend Charlie, and together the three of us helped organize a little music festival here at the Voyager, a little folk music festival. I saw Charlie here and there over the coming months, and he just struck me as a very genuine, friendly guy. We learned we had a lot of other friends in common. The very next year, Charlie took his own life by suicide. I know he has a lot of friends and family that miss him dearly. These really aren't that easy to do, and in some of my past videos I was struggling a little bit to contextualize it properly, because I don't know what I'm doing. And my lovely partner Sarah helped put some of it into perspective, and she said, it's hard to talk about, because it's hard for everybody to talk about. Because everybody has mental illness. Everyone. And I believe push-ups are a good symbol to put behind this, because everyone has strength as well. Everyone's a little mentally ill, and everyone's a little strong. It's just a matter of working through it. The let's just talk about it, is really difficult for people to do when they don't know how to talk about it. Nobody knows how to talk about it right. They don't know how to talk about it correctly. I don't. The survivors don't. The potential victims don't. So, you know, I've read that the best cure for this is resilience, is learning resilience. So, I don't know how to teach that. I have some ideas, and I'm going to try and put some of them in a later video. You are cute. You're very cute. You have big cheeks too. I I knew him so long I can't even remember meeting him, but over the years, Chris became a very important part of our social circle. And I do know that I spent hours upon hours sitting here at Greco's Pizzeria, drinking coffee, chain smoking, and talking with Chris. In 2016, he took his own life. November 11th, Remembrance Day. A huge shout out today to my favorite vets, Mike in Oshawa, Jim in Arizona, and Pierce in Sudbury, and to my brother John, who currently serves in some capacity. While doing some research about the origins of these push-ups the other day, I found out that it might have began to bring awareness to vets with PTSD. I believe that's a worthwhile cause. And today I'd like to remember all the men and women who served, who fought, who died for our countries. God bless you all. Here's something that's irritated me when talking about this over the years with people, is when somebody says, you don't know what it's like, you can't possibly know what it's like. First of all, how do you know what battles have raged and been won in my mind and in my heart? You can't know that. You can't know I don't know what it's like. Second of all, if the only people who know what it's like aren't with us anymore, then what are we doing? Why even talk about it? Let's just pack our bags and go home, because it's over. And third, even if all that was true, even if I didn't know what it was like and I had no clue, wouldn't you want to learn from somebody that hadn't ever been there? Wouldn't you want to learn how they avoided it? Wouldn't you want to learn what tools they had to resist this thing? So, that's my opinion on that argument. I would be remiss here if I didn't mention Woody. Woody passed away from mental illness around the same time as Charlie, Kelly, and Chris. 2016 wasn't a good year for us. I only really knew Woody here and there, say hi at art galleries and things like that. But he was important, and he'll be missed. I'm gonna do my push-ups out here at the football field because I know that's where you, Sheldon, and Glenn, and Mike Lynn, yeah, I remember you with your big Cheshire Cat smile. It's where you guys spent a lot of time out here training while I was down at the south end smoking cigarettes and being a punk rocker. And God knows where Matt was. Matt was probably learning the sermons and playing guitar somewhere. Anyway, for you guys. Chippewa is actually a very fitting place to end up with you guys because my dad was also a Raider. He taught chemistry there on the second floor at the end, and so it's good to be here with you guys in spirit and solidarity. Damn, I forgot to mention Shauna and Ron, and if either of you are watching this by some weird coincidence, I'm very, very sorry. But I think otherwise, that's the whole crew, and we kind of all went together as a giant pack from primary all the way to the end of public school. So, tomorrow's day 25, one more day, and then it's over with. I'll upload that video and some kind of afterthoughts in the coming days.
Suicide, anxiety, depression, PTSD, and the like. Today I'm going to nominate another good childhood friend, new father, Mr. Ted Ferguson. Ted's so tall that he'll probably have to do, maybe he only has to do 10 because he's so tall that that'll amount to 25. I don't know what I'm saying. Ted, you're up for 25. Here's my 25 today.
And Matthew Sempf. Do you think I was going to take you up on it? Because I will. 26 days ago, I was nominated by a very old and dear school friend, Matthew Sempf, to do 25 push-ups for 25 days in order to bring awareness to PTSD, anxiety, depression, and alcohol drug abuse leading to suicide. This nomination was seconded by Glenn Hansman and Sheldon Campbell. Thank you very much, Matt, for your nomination. I've always admired your strength of conviction, your faith, your attention to detail, and you were honestly the best friend a kid could ever have. Sheldon, I've always admired your stoic conviction. And Glenn, your breezy ways, your sense of humor, and your highly contagious laugh. And everybody out there knows what I'm talking about that went to school with Glenn. So, again, I forgot to name some people. And next time, if there is a next time, I'm going to consult the yearbook instead of just relying on my memory like some half-assed jerk. Jeff, Teddy, Graham, and Anouk. They went to school with us too. Today I'm at my favorite childhood place, the Birchhaven Cove. And I was really hoping for better weather, but it is what it is. And in the interest of keeping it real, I don't want to wait for a sunny day. So this is actually day 25 of 25. There's a couple clips that didn't make it into the other videos, and here they are. And I'm gonna tag some of my thoughts about this into that sequence, and then I'll do my push-ups. Hey guys, just a small thought here. You know, feel free to reach out to me anytime you want. You know, over the years, people have just probably because I live in North Bay and they're coming through town to see friends and family or whatever, but I've been contacted out of the blue from people I haven't heard from in decades, you know, and we made some good connections again. Like, you know, Joe and Al. And Al, man, it was great being at your wedding. And, you know, Mark and Trina, we go out, we have a good time, and just look me up and say, hey man, you want to grab a beer or a coffee or go for lunch or something like that? It's no big deal. I'm by no means any kind of expert in this kind of thing. You know, we don't even have to get into our personal problems. We just hang out. And, you know, that's about all we can do these days is try and be there for each other. We're all a little frayed at the seams these days, and since this COVID thing started back in March, I've taken about 50 friends off of my Facebook list. And you could say, you big hypocrite, what are you doing talking about these things when there's a party down the street? Of course there is. What are you doing talking about these things when you're just kicking people off to the side? And when people become mean-spirited and it seems like they turn against their friends and community and family, they get preachy and they write something and you think, who is that for? Who did you want that to be for? I'm not sure what to do with that kind of thing. So I just want to acknowledge that we all really don't know what we're doing right now.
It's on the edge. So close to the edge.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're okay. We're home. Dad's
And
better.
And Ted's leaving.
I'm leaving.
He's abandoning me.
Yeah, I am. So, yep, that's...
Less home care. This will need a lot of editing.
I was waiting for an empty house to film in front of a bookcase like a real YouTuber, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So in the interest of getting this out, some dusty DVD shelves is what we got, and that's what we'll work with. Current studies are showing that fully 1/3 of people are suffering from severe anxiety and depression due to this COVID thing. I know there's some of you out there that think this lockdown is never going to end. The masks are never going to end. They're not going to let us out. And I can't tell you that's not true. But I can tell you that there are people who felt the same way during Vietnam and World War II and World War I that thought this is never going to end. So hang in there. Let's get through it. And don't let the bastards win. So obviously I have some ideas and opinions about fighting depression. Some of them are unconventional. Some you might not like. But just skip over what you don't like and take from it what you will. The first one, I'm sure my friends who are Sam Harris fans won't like this, but you need to ground yourself. Matthew Senf was 100% correct in his video number 25. Matt was always right about things. When I was young, I went through a period of intense anger between about the ages of 18 and 22, and I was able to fight this using the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. It's a philosophy book. It takes a while to sink in. It takes decades to sink in. You'll never learn everything in that book, but you can start applying it right away. And you know, if you find solace in the scriptures, or in the Greek legends, or in the Norse legends, or anything else like that, it's an advantage. And I mean, if you hit rock bottom, you have absolutely nothing to lose by sliding into a pew at a church. What's the worst that could happen? You'll meet somebody, you'll meet an old lady, you'll make a friend, you'll talk to a pastor. What's the worst that can happen? Is that better than death? It's a good last resort. I mean, you might as well try if that's the end. You know, I hope to see you in the kingdom of heaven and in Valhalla. And I'd rather have a friend who was in the Church of Scientology than dead. Second, your physical health is inextricably linked to your mental health. Especially in a climate like the Canadian winters, you really have to work at it. There's not much difference between the blues and the slippery slope into nowhere. You need to take your multivitamins. Take them all the time. You need to work out. You need to work out at least twice a week. You know, I did these simple yoga routines and they helped get me through. And third of that, I mean, get yourself a tanning lamp. And I don't mean one of those little desktop USB sunshine ones. I mean the real deal from the 80s, from the 70s, the ones that are illegal now. Get on eBay and get one of those. You have nothing to lose at this point. I'd like to speak for a minute about something I call gates. And I'm not sure what the proper psychological term is for it, but I'm sure there is one. Now, a gate is something where when you're sliding down, it'll stop you dead in your tracks. An example, and you have to put these in your mind, is imagine your mother and your sister at your funeral. Imagine what they're going through. Imagine what you've done. Another example of a gate, and this sounds ridiculous, but think of Skeletor. Think of Darth Vader. Would they wallow in a corner? Would they feel sorry for themselves? Would Darth Vader sit there saying, "Luke, beat me. I'm done"? No. He'd get up and figure out whose ass he was going to stick that lightsaber up next. And sometimes you have to be the dark. Sometimes. If death calls for you, If the Grim Reaper shows up at your door knocking, make sure he's scared of you. Tell him you'll eat him. Tell him you'll rip his fucking head off. He's next, not you. Another ridiculous example, and I read this somewhere once. Somebody wrote, "Sometimes I feel like killing myself, and then I remember all the different sandwiches there are in the world." If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Would you rather be dead, or would you rather have a grilled cheese sandwich with a pickle and a nap? You know, once I was in Greece, and I had this sandwich, and it had donair meat on it, and it had tomatoes and lettuce, and you know what they did? They put a layer of French fries on it. And trust me, you haven't lived till you've tried this sandwich. And this might be a guy thing appealing to our stomach, but I don't know if it is, because just imagine all the ice cream flavors you haven't tried. And if you need to say that to yourself, God, there's an ice cream flavor I haven't tried, and that sees you one more night, sees you through that day, then good. Done. My friend Ed used to say, "There's no problem so big it cannot be run away from." And to an extent that's true. Would you rather your child say, "My dad lost his mind one year and ran away to Costa Rica for a year and a half"? Or would you rather your child say, "My dad lost his mind and killed himself"? What do you think? And if cost is a factor, what's the cost? What's the cost of a $2,000 ticket to run away from your problems versus the cost to your family and friends and your children for the rest of their lives? Ask yourself that. I know there are guys out there who will never call the suicide hotline, who will never consult a psychiatrist or a psychologist, even though you should. There are medications and treatments out there to help you. I would encourage you to do it. Because if you're at this point on the slope, you have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. I also know that conventional wisdom in our society says, give a hug, you'll feel better. And for a lot of these people, a hug makes them feel nothing but even weaker than they were before. Some of you will hate me for saying that. Here are a couple other things I'd like to mention when fighting mental illness. No social media. Nothing. No Facebook, no Twitter, full stop. Get off it. Take a break. They know Facebook writes algorithms, and you can look it up. Facebook writes algorithms to make you sad and make you angry and make you depressed. And do you want to know why? That's because happy people don't use Facebook, and they know it. No shopping therapy. That's not conducive to this at all. They design stores like Walmart to put you in a state of anxiety to make you buy more. It's well researched. They know it. They know it makes you anxious. They know it makes you buy more. No TV marathons. You're not going to feel better after a TV marathon. You're not. You're going to feel dirty and like you need a shower. And lastly, don't eat at restaurants. Don't eat at restaurants because they know that you feel better when you get there and when you eat, but afterwards you don't. And it's not the ingredients, there's a bit of remorse. You get a little incremental reward when you cook your own dinner. In your brain, you get a little shot of serotonin. It's like making your own bed, it's like cleaning your own house. You get a little bit. The less you do, the less happy you are. It's well known, it's well researched. Other than that, try and consult a professional. I know it's hard for some of you guys. Try and consult a professional. You know, at worst, sleep on it again. Call me. Call me. I don't know what I'm doing, but just let's have a chat. I don't know. What's the worst that could happen? Anything is better than where you're headed with this. And I think that's about all I have to say about that. I'm rambling on now like a weirdo. So, back to my push-ups. Okay, last day, day 25 of 25, Birchhaven Cove in the pouring rain. This time, on your knuckles, kings. The knuckles wasn't in the shot. I just looked and it wasn't in the shot, but trust me, I did it. I'd like to thank everyone for the notes of encouragement along the way, all the messages and emails and comments I've received about it. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank the people who think I should keep doing these. I'm not sure what I talk about or where that would go, or you'd have to start a GoFundMe or something like that, because I don't know. I'd like to thank Dave in Manchester for taking me up on the push-ups, Sarah McMartin and Ian, and Andrea. Most of all, I'd like to thank my lovely and supportive partner, Sarah, who's been very, very accommodating and encouraging and letting me duck away for a half an hour at a time to put these things together. I love you. And yeah. So I guess that's that. Done. Oh, and one more thing. I'm not sure if I'll include it, but I might. So if you're seeing this, that means I decided yes. Because I think at the end of the day, we all need a little humor in our lives. I had a pretty rough week filming. It's okay.
Sorry.
Me to her good friend, Charlie. And together, the three of us put together a little fuck's sakes. A very good friend of mine introduced me to her good friend, Charlie. And oh my God. And a lot of it's not the best. I don't even remember. Oh, there's all the people. And I don't remember if my best friend in Tyson. Jesus. We spent hours and days. I don't even remember meeting Chris. I knew him so. Oh my God. And I don't know if my best friend Tyson. We all enjoyed that. Fuck me. This is hard. Okay. Oh shit. There's always somebody here. For vets with PTSD. And a huge shout out to my vets. Oh shit. November 11th, Remembrance. Oh, fuck, man. Mike in Oshawa, and my brother who currently serves in some capacity. Fuck you with your muffler. Who currently serves in some capacity. It's not even worth talking about. Fuck sakes. Is that a fucking garbage truck? Oh my god. So when somebody says, you don't know what it's like, you can't possibly know what it's like. Oh my god. If the only ones who know what it's really like aren't with us anymore, then what are we doing? We might as well just pack up and go home. Fuck. This is supposed to be a quiet place. What wars have been fought and raged and won in my brain? Fuck. What the hell is going on? Pack up and go home. End of discussion. Oh my god. Kids. You can't be louder than that if you tried. Possibly know what wars have been fought and raged and what. Oh my god. Fuck, this is it. I can't do it here. Now they're playing basketball. Yep, basketball. You can't know what battles have raged and been won in... Shit. Now there's chimes. Why are there chimes? This is for my friends Nicole, Erica, and Rob. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why are the people here? It's Saturday. 25 days ago, my best friend from public school. Holy shit. Best friend from public school challenged me to do 25 push-ups. Fuck's sakes, what is going on here? I forgot to mention my two favorite girls, Jennifer and Michelle. Shit. You all knew we were going to end up here eventually. Jesus Christ, what is going on here? 25 days ago, I was nominated by an old friend from high school. Hey, what is going on here? "25 days ago, I was nominated by an old friend from school to do 25... What the hell? I can't do this with them. 25 days ago, I was nominated to do... Oh, Jesus Christ, lady. And alcohol, substance abuse, leading to... There's wind. 5 push-ups for 25 days. Did I say 26? I think I said 26. To anxiety, depression, PTSD. Shit. Why change it? Why change it? And that can work. That idea. Fuck. Like I've said about people in my other videos, you matter. You are important. We need you here. You know, if you're watching this, it probably means I know who you are and I like you. You're important. You're a top general in my army. So stick around.